Alright, welcome to Dopeish. Today I have the Trill Buddhist here with me and my co-host, The Alien. And we also have here these two guests. Go ahead and introduce yourselves.
My name is Denisa. Mercy.
And it is drama in fire.
You said what?
What?
Oh, that's actually a solid comic book though too.
Which one?
The Ultraman and Spider-Man one.
Oh yeah, that's actually new. It came out last year. That's the first edition. It's really good too. They're like reintroducing Ultraman in pop culture.
Yeah, I've been following that jump past couple of years.
Yeah, so and I like how they're doing it too.
Looks interesting for real.
That one is pretty good. Pretty much a comic book. That's like one of the basis of our podcast also, you know, we just pop culture in general, history, you know, entertainment, what makes the mind tick, you know, that's who we are. One thing I do want to bring up that's been in the news lately is the whole Dave Chappelle controversy.
Did you see the special?
Yes. Did you guys see the special?
Yeah, we did.
What are y'all takes on it?
You want to go first, buddy? You want to go first?
I'll let y'all
Guys
go
are on the
first.
table. I thought it was funny. I thought that he was kind of reverting back to his old comedy sketches, but just in stand-up form with some of the information that he was relaying, and it was one of my favorites. Yeah.
Alright, you?
Honestly, I think he was speaking, this might be the unpopular opinion, and that's fine, but he was speaking facts. I think that it was a lot of things that it was, you know, connected to us just coping with humor. And it's beautiful within humor, or like within artistry, to just express that regardless of if it's good or bad takes, but if you're speaking truth, it's truth. So, personally, that was...
I really enjoyed it. It was funny when I saw it. I really just had a class in school, like acting in front of the camera or whatever, and like got schooled on humor, you know. And then she thinks it's about like making jokes and more shit. And once the professor was actually going over what humor was, I was like, damn, that's deep as hell. I didn't know that shit. So then conveniently that special comes out, you know what I'm saying? I was like, yo, like he's the only person that can help males cope with being sexually assaulted and not, you know, that's something that I thought was pretty dope that he did with the special and shit for real, and he's the best. He's still the best.
I still haven't seen it.
Yeah, and unfortunately did not watch it.
I was high.
You're supposed to watch it when you're high, bro.
Right.
I couldn't I knew it was going to be too deep. I was like,
It was ready.
I'm not going down this hole right now. I'm not ready for this at all.
At least you're accountable.
I mean,
A lot of people go like, fuck it, Dave Chappelle. I'm like, shit.
I mean,
my brain
you
up
know,
for like an hour and a half.
Dave Chappelle's always like broke boundaries, you know. Honestly, I don't see what the big deal about the special is. It's funny.
You don't, bro?
No, I mean like it's funny.
Yeah.
It's full of facts. It's entertaining, and they're jokes. It's not like Dave Chappelle called a press conference and said all this shit. You know, it's not meant to be taken.
Oh yeah,
to heart.
I hate that everyone, especially in the comedy or stand-up world, you shouldn't go to these shows with your most sensitive self presented. And also, you shouldn't take seriously, that guy's up there to tell fucking jokes. This is not his actual fucking, you know, even if it is someone's fucking opinion, he might be joking up there.
I think it's because he forces people to not ignore the shit they try to ignore.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's uncomfortable for some people.
It's like, it's like you wanna. It's weird being a black comedian. You know what I'm saying? It's like, do you go up there and do like the whole, or do you go up there, you try to be so fucking educated that you lose your culture in the process, or you like always put yourself at the butt of the joke to make the, you know what I'm saying? Like, as a black comedian, I feel he does a very, very solid job at not making himself the butt of the joke and actually showing what his mindset is and stuff is that, and also educating at the same time, man. Like, it's like that's the type of comedy special that's needed on Netflix right now during this time period of like people re-entering society. You know what I'm saying? Like, if he didn't put it out there like that, nobody would have nothing to talk about or discuss, even to even get to a point of solution anyway. You know what I'm saying? So I think that's pretty dope. That's pretty much how I feel about that shit.
No, I agree. Totally. Like, especially coming back into society, because we all did some weird shit on lockdown.
Yeah.
I feel like we gotta face a lot of fucking realities coming back into this shit.
I mean, it goes back to like what you said on the last podcast I did with you. As far as knowledge goes, and knowledge is power, as everyone knows. And as we also know that not everybody can handle knowledge.
Facts.
Not everybody can handle that power. People don't know what to do with it. It's overwhelming. And sometimes when you have somebody in your face giving you this knowledge, you don't know how to handle it. Imagine remember when we were all children and our parents told us something and we did not like what they told us. As knowledgeable as what they said to us was, we didn't like it. We did not heed that warning, How many times our parents told us, those friends you got are really not your friends.
Yeah, you can
and we, in our minds, was like, no, they're really our friends. And years later down the line, you have your own friends stabbing you in the back.
Yeah.
And that message comes to your mind. They were right.
Yeah.
Knowledge is power. And there's stages of our mental progression that we can't handle certain kinds of knowledge.
Until you get there.
Yeah.
I feel like, you know what I'm saying? It's like, it's not.
Remember what you said last, like you have to hit a certain stage before you can actually, handle this knowledge.
It's like the video game concept for real, you know what I'm saying? You can't, it's like, I guess, I use a Call of Duty reference, I guess what you guys like these days. You get a weapon, like a weapons class, but you can't get certain things to put on that joint until you get to a certain procedure and shit. It's the same thing. It's like, why we gonna give you all this shit, bro? You don't even know how to use it.
You gotta level up first.
You gotta learn some shit. Play the game a little bit, get some attributes, get some skill sets, learn how to be accountable with the weapon you have already. By the time period get the next shit onto that joint is lit.
Nah, I agree though. There's not a lot of. Someone else made a point, or maybe it was on Dave Chappelle's stand-up. I think someone said this to me. How, like, you have Jeff Foxworthy or other white comedians. They literally tell the same jokes Dave Chappelle would tell, and sometimes much more offensive. Yeah. But they'll tell the joke and move on. Dave Chappelle, when his comedy is not him on stage telling this joke and this joke and this joke and this joke. It all leads up into something. Like when his stand-up first started and he talked about the children's book he was writing called Clifford, and throughout the whole stand-up he mentions Clifford,
you gotta linger in it.
He has these things that he'll start a story with something that has nothing to do with anything, and later on it comes full circle. It comes full circle.
It's a callback.
Yeah. A lot of other comedians, their stand-ups don't fall into story mode. John Leguizamo, he's like that. It's a whole story.
I'd rather look at a tapestry than a paragraph. Paint me a picture.
Exactly. And I feel like that's a great comedian can do that. They can stand on stage for an hour and a half and tell you a whole story, and within this story, there's stories within stories within stories.
They come back to this story.
Yeah, and that's genius right there. Yeah. That's genius.
I can't stand a comedian that can't spin a tale.
Right.
Just doing references, it's weird.
Exactly.
There's references and impersonation.
Yeah, for an hour and a half.
Is this 92? Tell me a story. I'm high.
I'm tripping balls.
The whole thing is shaking.
Did you guys notice the two white ladies in the audience during the day show?
Yes.
Salty.
And at first they were laughing for the first 30 minutes. And then,
about the black jokes.
Yeah, about the black jokes. And then I pointed it out to my fiance. I was like, look, watch. Watch.
Well, it's not funny anymore.
And when they panned out to the audience when he started talking about like the trans jokes and the LGBTQ community jokes,
Yeah.
and their faces just was
Nah.
they were not having it.
I think it's also important to also pay attention to how long he's been here, right? So like a lot of people can get like too overbearing on like, oh, you're so insensitive, but it's like I don't give a fuck anymore. Like I've been here too long, saying all of this in different ways. You don't get it.
I'm not canceling Dave Chappelle.
He made a point. He left $50 million. He left $50 million and left.
Yeah.
You know?
And got it in the end.
And got it back.
Did you do that?
Got more.
Yeah.
You know what? Think you
Got
say
way
that, bro.
more.
No, the fuck did he?
You know he can't cancel Dave Chappelle, man.
He uncanceled himself.
Like, bro, literally. They was like, hey, take this money and sell your soul, bro. He was like, nah, I'm good, pimp. And dip. And then he came back like 3 times, 4 times more than he was offered a dip. He first pulled back up. And then keep on getting installments on that motherfucker every time the motherfucking shit go up. Like,
I like the first 2 specials. He just
The
put
first
them out of his
two-
closet and went,
Yeah.
bro, it was like, and you could tell it was like he was just, I ain't ready for this shit. You know I've been gone for a long time. You don't think I've been not sitting here studying, man. I think Dave Chappelle's a hitman, bro. I'm telling you.
He's
bro.
he's much more knowledgeable than I ever thought. Like watching Dave Chappelle growing up, I didn't really realize how intelligent of a person he was.
You gotta get a little older.
You
to
know,
rewatch this
yeah,
shit.
you know, like the things he says, you know, and then now his like newer specials, it's like the intelligence he has is phenomenal, you know, like he's
it's
really
just,
smart.
It's just layered in buffoonery. That's what's crazy.
She tries to open the door.
She get out?
She can open the door if I didn't lock it. No, I'll let her out because she was barking.
Oh.
I don't want her in here fucking with us.
Alright, well that was fucking freaky. FYI. It's a werewolf! I miss 70s slang so
I'm
bad.
bringing it back, bro.
Cute.
Bringing it back.
I was just like, say, where you going, Jack? Like,
Man, they ain't doing that, man. Hey, you know what I'm saying? Mike, go have some of my old ladies over here. They hungry.
they were really advertising their conversations. Like, he was always, how are we fucking yelling to them?
Hey, you know.
It's the opposite now. We're like, yo, I'm gonna go see who's going there.
No, but Ant, you really need to watch it. Ant.
Yeah, thanks. Yeah, I know.
How does it make you feel when black comedians talk about white people?
I could give a shit. Also, he fucks with every subculture, so
I believe that.
I mean, he going off of nothing of this new special. He's made fun of a transgender person cutting off their dick while saying Wu-Tang. So how do you fucking take everything so seriously? I'm excited to see it, just to see what the fuck
It's a
happens.
great.
You're going.
All I've seen is the backlash.
You're going to enjoy it.
I feel like the backlash is making it more much more appealing.
It's more offensive to me when a comedian does redneck jokes than somebody making fun of white people having no rhythm or whatever. Sorry.
I don't know. Dave Chappelle breaks barriers, and I don't think people can really.
He's a goat. You can't do anything about it.
Yeah, I just hope you guys know, y'all sound crazy complaining about Dave Chappelle. Like, y'all never seen his television show? This nigga made for the niggas brilliantly. We just ate it. You know what I'm saying? We didn't even sit there and he stereotyped the shit out of us in the most accepting way. And we've been kicking it. Go watch his old shit before you start complaining about the stand up. And that was on TV. And Comedy Central was gonna give him another $50 million to bug out again. So how the fuck you don't come on, guys?
And it was just easy buffoonery. There was a racist dolphin.
There's-
Hey, no, wait, hold up.
Yes.
Hold up.
Yes.
Wait, pause, real quick too. And he's the best detective ever. Nobody was gonna give a fuck about R. Kelly till Dave Chappelle was like, hey, that nigga was wildin'.
Yeah,
Put him on Front Street.
And it still took a decade.
Put him on Front Street.
Something about it,
Yeah.
like to talk on it or something.
Cause nobody else is on that type of time until everybody wanna make jokes after the fact on like a smidge bit. They don't touch on the pee-pee. You know what I'm saying? He really painted a picture of how that shit just sound hella crazy. And since then, all that fuck shit happened.
The music was not that good.
Yo, thank you, bro.
I'm sorry.
Yo, you know what I'm saying? I don't know what.
Like a cookie cutter shit.
I feel like Dave Chappelle goes back to like the origin of what a comedian really and truly is. Like satire is
supposed to make you
a form of entertainment. It's supposed to make you think and deliver news. And Dave Chappelle, he does all of that. There's very few comedians that get up on the stage and deliver you what's going on in the world today and what's wrong about it, what's right about it. You know, you should listen to this, pay attention to this. Like Dave Chappelle is one of the few comedians that has that spark and that persona of like the original comedians and like entertainers.
You can take that back all the way to the original cartoonists and newspapers, man.
Right.
Yeah,
you know what I'm
like
saying?
even
Yeah.
the pulp.
Yeah, all those, you know.
You could really tell. That's what I'm saying, man. Like I'm a freaking history like nerd, bro.
Like Dave Chappelle is probably like the Shakespeare of our generation. He is the Shakespeare of our generation. He delivers entertainment in a way that it informs and entertains you.
It's like,
There's a whole cult. There's two communities, the trans and gay community, that wants to cancel this man because of what he's saying. Like, when does that happen in history? That only happens when someone is saying something right, when someone is saying something correct. People don't want to shut people up unless they're speaking the truth and they're speaking knowledge. And people that's higher up, they don't want people lower down, the little people getting smart and knowing things. They don't want us having all that power, that knowledge. Because once you have that knowledge, they'll realize there's more of us than there is of them.
Honestly, I agree to disagree with that. I feel like they waiting for people to stop being stupid. I personally wouldn't be upset if I'm on a certain level of understanding and and I have these certain concepts of life and some more shit, and people below me don't have it. You know how frustrating it is being around like lower level, like vibrational situations. You know what I'm saying? I don't. You don't want. I cannot want that. You just can't break a host of fucking water and make it like a drink. You know what I'm saying? Like, I really don't feel like the higher ups are like, hey, nah. It's like, it's here. Nah, we don't want to be smart. Fuck that. Like, all right, brother, but it's there when you ready for it. Man, get to it. And then once that happens, they figure that shit out. I feel like everybody be kind of hyped because you'll know. Once you start knowing shit, it'll be a lot easier to just everybody just vibe the fuck out.
Do you think that can actually happen?
Realistically, if you want to go down and rabbit hole with this, yeah. You know what I'm saying?
You think realistically, every man and woman and child on this earth can achieve a higher being of knowledge?
Yep. It don't even have to be everyone, because remember, you have the people who maintain, and you have people who are supposed to be maintained. Now, only thing we really need is a certain percentage of people to get this certain understanding of application of life. Just when those certain amount of people get to that drunk, it will automatically shift the polarity on this weird, like, unspoken, invisible osmosis shit. It's always a trend. And what ends up happening is the information they have to collect all the data on people, how they do that stuff, whatever, to create the consumerisms that are pushed here, will begin to, like, be picked up, and they will eventually start feeding those vibes to niggas as they've been doing. But if you sit there and take a step back, a lot of vibes like this will start to become more of a thing. Not even just amongst ourselves locally on this level, but even on a mainstream level. Like conscious culture is starting to make this weird ass comeback without the weirdness, and people are starting to think more, people are starting to be more concerned about shit. So they don't have to take the whole world all at one time. Really take, like, you know, Georgia Stone tablets,
Yeah.
Everybody thinks that those numbers mean I feel like those will be the numbers to end the world, but in a sense it is, but only in the current world. You know what I'm saying? In reality, those are just the numbers of people who need to be on a certain type of vibe to really influence the world. On some real shit. And if you just sit there and you take that shit out, you check it out, and you really apply it, it should make sense. You know what I'm saying? If we looking for people to understand from that level, just to influence that genre, there's no need to be worried about that shit.
Well, it's hard for somebody to pull themselves out of that.
This is true.
To take a step back. In this age of spin where you can fucking click on or reference any other fucking video.
So
Here's 3 reasons why I'm right.
Exactly.
So, in the way I fucking think.
I'm trying to move here.
You gotta get shattered.
Give me all the scrolls. I'm only trying to tell y'all the juice. Cause y'all need to know. Try to help everybody. I'm just, it's out there. You know what I'm saying? And you just take your time with it.
Do you think? How do you view like religion in this day and age?
That more people want to know the answers on how to actually pray than why they should be praying.
So you feel like religion is also making a comeback?
I mean, I wouldn't. Religion is not the word I would technically use.
Spirituality.
I put no stock in
You know what I'm saying? Like spirit. People want to be spiritually conscious is another thing. You know?
So you feel like people are viewing a more spiritual awakening than a religious awakening?
Man, I've been out here. I've been in Vietnam. How long been in Vietnam? What? 9 years now? 10 years now? So, okay. So before I started coming down here, I was telling you last time. I started at Nova. Now I'm here. But in between that time period, I've lived in 9 different particular regions of VA. I went from Nova to the Harrisonburg area up that way, and then now I'm down here. You know what I'm saying? And I've been present with all the local things. Like I'm a dancer. I crump. You know what I'm saying? Being a crumper and a battle dancer, you gotta be aware of certain social norms and trends and what's going on. Like dancing is I love dancing because of all the things I can do to study.
It's very emotional
you know what I'm
too.
saying? You learn a lot with this shit. So because of that, I'm very, very, very intentional with observing what the fuck's going on around me. For a long time, man, no one was on psychedelics. I would be considered the doing all my people shit. Because I would be the person who would know better about them to even experiment with shit, you know what I'm saying? It was only a group of my friends who was into actually doing certain things. And with our community, we began to see how that started to change. Not saying we was like, hey, yo, do this, but because we introduced that energy to that, people come in our space we're living at, vibing with us some more shit. Eventually, people's interest started becoming a certain type of way, you know what I'm saying? You started pretty much helping the alternative pool become a thing over time periods. I was seeing what the different state of people, and for a long time, no one gave a fuck about even thinking about anything other than complaining about what the fuck was going on with them. You know what I'm saying? No one even cared enough to even make a decision on their own to change anything aside from a select few people who decided to duck off and figure themselves out. You know what I'm saying? So now we're getting to this time period where now black people are starting to get more in touch with their identity. So they're studying spirituality, like the voodoo stuff and the crystals and the hair and all other things. And people are getting in touch with their culture and roots. But you got some black people looking in the wrong direction. You got other people thinking that, you know what I'm saying, blackness is only tied to this place over here and there's nothing here. You got people who don't know about the southern states before we were the United States, you know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So it's like, when you get down to this shit, people have been complaining for so damn long, and eventually, you know what I'm saying, when the person gets tired of complaining, they always turn to God or a higher power at some point. And for I don't say 4 or 5 years, you know what I'm saying?
Drives everyone to collapse and
yeah, I'm like, oh man, I can't do nothing. It's like, find God, and when they do it only on a reference to what they have the time period. So if your only reference is a super Bible thumping situation, when by the time you turn to that junk, you don't sit there and reference how you saw it happen as a child. So if you're used to folks doing all the hooting and hollering, all this other stuff, and being very, very critical on shit, by the time you get to that point of your spiritual junk, if you're a Christian or whatever religion you practice, you're gonna be like that. If you're somebody who's been raised to have more of an open mind, understanding like life is universal, some more shit, you're gonna have a better understanding of certain things with that. But if somebody taught you whatever to be very strict or whatever, you're gonna be, you know what I'm saying? But right now, everybody's looking for some type of sign that shit's gonna be alright, for real. So yeah, I think he was right, and everybody, I felt the world right now is in this, where's God at? What's going on
with everything that's going on?
Yeah. And it's getting to the point where some folks are, even if you don't report it, you know what I'm saying? And we were going to be the strong ones to keep it amongst ourselves. We don't even like, a lot of us don't even know how to talk about it to each other, even though that we may know it happened.
Well, even accessing the memory.
You know what I'm saying? And you feel me?
Fool yourself.
And to thinking it was something romanticized or something else like that. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, bro. You know what I'm saying? And I feel like to even touch base on that like that, man. Like I've never seen a comedian do that like that. And every time you do touch the basis of sexual assault or something like that, it always comes at the expense of the woman experiencing it, and then that showing up, whatever. So even like if you're gonna sit there and really talk about it, you know what I'm saying? Like if we were to allow men to be more expressive without condemning them as much, you probably won't have so many people becoming the people that they become and end up doing it they do for real.
Yeah.
But you know what I'm saying, right now we're proving exactly why men can't express themselves, especially black men. We can't just talk about our fucking day without, you can't feel like, why? You know what I'm saying? Being somebody, not to make this by myself, but you spoke of something about the friendship, you know what I'm saying, and people's putting that, you know what I'm saying? Like, being someone who experiences that consistently just due to, I guess, the cultural differences I have with people and some more stuff, you know what I'm saying? You always get condemned for just being willing to express yourself instead of holding it in, bro. You catch a lot of slack for that shit. You know what I'm saying? Folks always be trying to warn me of being an artist. Oh, don't say this, don't say that. I'm like, I'm not saying nothing except for how the fuck I feel. I'm not even making it about anybody else except for myself, for real. And everybody's like, you know what I'm saying? You can be included in it, but if I'm more so bringing on how I feel about it, that's it. I don't have to even project how I feel about you, towards you. I could just include you on what's going on with me, and it's like I feel we can do better allowing just men to just express themselves without canceling shit. At some point in time period, if it's so damn bad with shit, it's just segregation. You know what I'm saying? If that's the case, you know what I'm saying, gay, trans people, LGBTQ people, whoever feel the way about Dave Chappelle, we gotta figure out a way to just go, when y'all should go, y'all don't. Everybody go their separate ways for maybe 3 years. America, let's break up. Let's take a break.
Let's take a break, America.
Y'all go over here.
But how different would the world be if there was an acceptance of men able to, show their feelings like that? How different would the world be? I feel like it would be very different.
I feel personally, growing up in Okinawa and pretty much anime world, I experienced that shit. And it was different. It was organized. You know what I'm saying? Because let's reflect on anime real quick. Feel me? An anime protagonist always cries at some point. He has no issue expressing his emotions to his friends. Plenty of time periods, you might even catch him giving his bro piggyback ride. You know what I'm saying? He was just minding their business, vibing some more shit, you feel me? But they the most powerful, strongest person in the whole fucking world. They're staying on the planet, they have all these moves, and they exude that junk, you know what I'm saying? So it's like, they're able to, and these are people able to express them. Fuck, nigga, yeah, I'm gonna cry, but nigga, I got all this goddamn cheat, I'm gonna stab your bitch ass. You know what I'm saying? You get to lit. You know what I'm saying? So like, me growing up in Okinawa, bro, like, I was able to see what that was like. You know what I'm saying? Like, men have to be able to take time periods to have imaginations, play, think, cry. You know what I'm saying? Be scolded when it needs to be scolded and corrected. Like, we need certain things. You need order and logic for real. Like, America feeds the wrong juice to men.
Kill your imagination.
You know what I'm saying? They take that joint away to make it all logic, and now you sitting there you don't think nothing else except for what makes sense, not something that you can create, and it kind of fucks.
I feel like this is also like the kind of culture, like Chinese, Japanese, they have. Well, it's more. They're whole.
Yo, what if? Hey, no, real shit. I got Why would that come to my brain just then? Alright, bro, real shit. What if the government and the system ain't even like that, right? What if because of the Civil War, so much shit was fucked up and lost on both sides? Niggas just been like niggas just have the remnants of the shit. You know what I'm saying? If they know that kind
of been there,
that's lingering,
you know what I'm saying?
capturing.
Like there's no there's not saying the lingering like that essence of it causing it, but due to the cleanup aspect of it not really being cleaned up, like it was just fucked up.
It was still split.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like so much information was lost on both sides, so much cultures and lifestyle was lost on both sides. There was so much identity was lost on both sides.
No
and
unity.
And the only thing after that, they kept on, just went elsewhere to get more of that shit back because holy shit.
Hold on, he just realized the government's been fucking us for 100 years. You alright?
That's not it.
I just realized the opposite, bro. They haven't even been capable of fucking
They're not
us.
capable. People think they are.
It's just word of mouth, bro. We've been
It is word of mouth.
fucking ourselves.
Yes.
We've been masturbating the whole time. Yo.
I broke it down.
It was
No.
just what it is. Yeah, so like, I mean, that's a real, that's a
Bruh.
serious thought.
Hey, bro, I'm just saying. Look, I feel like if we get down and you talking about this shit, bro, I feel like I could convince you. You know, if it was just pulled up, I feel like I could potentially convince you, bro. Think about the school system. Think about the books we have in school. You know what I'm saying? Step by one. They just now updated a Texas joint about the term it's used instead of slaves in indentured service. Everybody got pissed about that. But yo, that was actually the next transitional term before employee.
Yeah.
Slaves,
Slave, indentured servitude.
So it's
and then
like, so if you really find out there's a bountiful land somewhere elsewhere, they're offering, hey nigga, now go there, build here, whatever. You got to work as a slave though, but then give you some land, some more shit. Woo, woo, woo. You know what I'm saying? You in your place over there and everything. You're not a part of society. You could be an opportunity. Boom.
That's what English. That's what English. That's what the English did to
But
blacks. But
they're not the only ones, bro. We have so many people who came over here, bro. Like it make no sense for all these immigrants to all know to come to America, bro. It doesn't make any sense, cause like you feel what I'm saying? Like people, a lot of folks is buying land here. Like it's the same concept as if somebody cops a politician and push the agenda or whatever. It's the same concept. It's the business. America's the only fucking continent who's been orchestrated like a whole, just like it's like
a free market.
you feel me?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, we're our own lobbyists.
You feel what I'm
We
saying?
are.
But it's
We
like,
are.
but so that's what. So
Carry
then,
on the bond.
yo, we not even. Hey, yo, government. Hey, yo, real shit.
On the bond.
Yo, real show. Yo, government. On everything I love, bro. I want to apologize for my American homies in the past for not understanding. We sitting here mad at each other. Cause you always be forget that you also live here too, cuz. And you also gotta be with you just as lost as we is. That's why y'all talk to them GMs from all them companies when the pandemic happened. You talk to your homies and shit. You talk to Vince McMahon and them, the NBA niggas, the NFL motherfuckers. You talk to all the regular folks who already knew there's your mans. My bad, bro. On behalf of Americans, bro, I apologize, bro. We don't get it together. That's crazy.
That is a crazy fucking thought.
That's crazy, bro.
I might have just got lost in it.
Thank you for building it, bro. I'm always reflect on that joke. Every time I'm in Petersburg, fam, I just something don't feel like as. It's always like until you go and have the conversation, like, wasn't that bad? That's always the case. Is America at the? Let's just go talk to these niggas. We just listen. We should be just listening.
That's a pretty good message for this, if you want to yell it.
It's message. Right in the corner. Message.
That did just tie to.
I gotta go.
That's crazy.
Yeah, it's a very enlightening thing, and it's a scary subject.
It is, man. It definitely is, because you got everybody's little references, you know what I'm saying? And that's why when you have these conversations, I recommend you have the conversations with people who are understandable, to at least take the journey you look further into what y'all
Like-minded,
you know what I'm saying? Yeah. Like, I feel like that's also an issue we have in a lot of situations. Like, black people, let's talk to each other, okay? You know what I'm saying? Bob and Billy Ray and them, they know, but they got to figure out their own selves, bro. Let them figure their shit out. We gotta figure our shit out. We can't sit there and keep on.
Facts, doing this not helping nothing.
You know what I'm saying? Like, cause no one wanna really. Hey, bro, it's kind of fucked up. You know what I'm saying? I'll be advocate. You know what I'm saying? It's kind of fucked up that even the Pilgrims or whatever in Columbus, you know, they was considered really, really trash. They was like, hey, bro, we don't want you here. Not we believe in your abilities to go be lit. It was like, yo, you're fucking trash. You keep on putting your trash DNA with our good DNA. Take your ass on.
It's also
hit $5.
How stuck up do you have to be for the English to be like, get the fuck out?
Right.
That's literally like, or you can either it's a religion thing, like.
No, it's crazy. But I was like I said though, I feel like the war. That's what wars do. Wars end up erasing a lot of history. And if you have a war amongst yourselves, technically can't really call a conqueror because it's amongst yourselves.
Mm-hmm.
So now you just gotta sit there and start off where you left or where you started at. But a lot of shit.
Yeah, you lose more when you fight yourself rather than when you fight someone else.
You gotta bear your own iniquity.
And that's why you keep on trying to avoid that shit so much. Cause it was like, bro, you didn't even catch up last time. God damn, we still here collecting data from these niggas. Interessante. I figured it out, government, but we can help you. Give us $5 billion trillion.
I'm actually
to host workshops.
America. Can you imagine if all of us agreed on one thing?
Yeah.
It would be something outward, and that's fucking freaky.
It doesn't have to even be. Imagine if we just all agreed to look out for each other. That'd be pretty dope.
Yeah, I bet that would be amazing.
But
amazing.
Let's that be the agreement.
That's like everybody on these walls' powers put together. It's
you
like,
know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's fucking scary, man.
But why? Why is it scary, man?
I read it.
I mean, it would be interesting, but then again, like, there's always you can't even if you put everybody good in one room, there's gonna be one person that's gonna be bad amongst everyone in that room.
It's not gonna
that's
be
only
just
you think
indifferent.
and make it be.
It's indifferent. There's only nature, bro. You know
they demonize the different.
That's all nature.
And then persuade everyone to remember, look at, and penalize the demonized thing.
Also, everybody with revolutionary ideas. It's in the closet.
It's in the closet. Message.
Flow is when challenge meets skill.
Like, I've been using
You know what I'm saying?
the power of just my sheer will. That dog is loose out there with my tacos. Just my sheer will.
You're keeping the dog away from
I'm keeping them protected.
That's a great example.
They're gone.
You go out there, they're untouched.
I've done it.
And then that's when you talk more.
The power.
I feel it. Yeah,
Niggas got power. Alright, well, it was great having you guys.
No,
Thank you.
Very awesome having you guys.
I really enjoy doing this with y'all. You know what I'm saying? If I ever need it, you know what I'm saying, third
Bro, you're always welcome on the show.
No, I'm telling you, man. I'm right down the street, fam.
2 episodes in a row. Let's keep this going.
And then don't say it.
And he's been on the show more than you this year.
I've been busy.
But it's a dope vibe. You having like what you got here today, whoever.
Yeah.
I felt the complete vibe. I was, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it's a pair set. It's a hetero life mate thing. I don't function right without him.
Yeah, I'm
I feel you. I feel you on that, bro.
Yeah, this is my bro right here.
Hey, bro. I have a homie I feel would be very interested to come on.
Oh, shit. Like that, though. Alright, it's enough.
He's also one of the co-hosts.
Yo, but it was just so.
it was just, and then just.
Yeah.
Can I come
Sup,
in
bro?
now?
Yeah, it was so real.
She's honestly very friendly. I just didn't want her fucking with us while we were recording. But
She's a little too friendly.
This
She is a
dope.
husky.
yeah. All right, well, that's a wrap. Thank you guys.
Thank you.
All right, Lucy, you can come in now.
Can we smoke now? That was the longest.